On this day in history, April 4th, 801, King Louis the Pious captures Barcelona from the Moors after a siege of several months. Included in the following is an excerpt from the 1944 edition of the Encyclopedia Britannica, going over the history of Barcelona. During the Roman period, Barcino, a town of the Lusitani, raised to the rank of a colony under the name of Julia Faventia, afterwards Augudi and Pia, gradually replaced Tarragona, as a seaport. The Barcelona of the Muslims, who captured it in 713, it became, after its reconquest by the Franks in 801, the chief town of Marca Hispanica, and, by the end of the 9th century, of the independent countship of Barcelona, with recognized supremacy over its neighbors. The union in 1137 of Catalonia and Aragon was followed by the rise of political importance of the wealthy merchant class, from which were elected, at first exclusively, the members of the municipal council, Consell de Cent, of Barcelona. Barcelona now became one of the foremost trading cities of the Mediterranean, the rival of Genoa and Venice, and its maritime code, Libro del Consulo del Mar, dating from the late 13th century, was for long widely recognized as authoritative. By 1479, the date of the union of Aragon and Castile, the city had directed its direct jurisdiction by the technical inclusion within the municipality of protected areas scattered over eastern Spain, and exercised a virtual hegemony over the rest of the seaboard of Aragon. In municipal politics, a democratic tradition had been established by the entry to the council and final predominance there of representatives of the popular classes. Marked independence of the central authority had already been shown by the successful resistance of the city to John II of Aragon during the 10 years ending in 1473. The relations of Barcelona with the new central government were prejudiced by the monopoly of the American trade granted to Andalusia, which persisted until 1778. In 1640, a flirtation with France and the revival in favor of Louis XIV of the title of Count of Barcelona was illustrative of a tendency to play off a third party against Madrid rather than any serious leanings towards France. During the War of the Succession, Barcelona was taken in 1705 by the English under the Earl of Peterborough, and the Archduke Charles was enthusiastically welcomed by the population, who paid the price of their enthusiasm when Concile de Cent was abolished by Philip V after the recapture of the city in 1714. By this, and by the suppression of the Catalan fueros in general, relations with Madrid were further embittered. No permanent traces were left of the French occupation of Barcelona between 1809 and 1813. In the modern period since 1815, the history of Barcelona has been marked by episodes indicative of social, industrial, or political unrest. The combination of different forms of unrest in one complex movement by characteristics of the city. Especially serious were the uprisings of 1835, when 11 convents were destroyed, and of the tragic week in 1909, when over 60 churches and religious buildings disappeared from the city's architectural inheritance. The infantry committees of defense had their headquarters here in 1916, and it was here that the movement began which led to the establishment of the Military Directory in 1923. The evolution of the labor movement from the earlier Pacific phase of the General Workers' Union, Unión General de Trabajadores, founded at the Second Barcelona Congress in 1888, to the phase characterized by the terrorist action of Sindicato Único led to the revolutionary strike of 1919 and 1920. Barcelona was also the headquarters of the Catalonian separatist movement, and on August 2, 1936, following the outbreak of civil war in Spain, it became the seat of an autonomous Catalonian government. It was a main center of government strength. Nationalist superiority in air and artillery strength caused the city to fall into rebel hands January 26, 1939, almost without resistance. The fall of Barcelona, with its great industrial facilities, doomed the government cause and led to its final surrender in the following March. Barcelona suffered from air attack during the war, notably a 3-day raid in 1938.